The PlayStation Store's spring sale is coming to an end, so I want to do one final video taking a look at some of the deals with an uncapped budget. I already did a video taking a look at games under $15 and $10, so you can check those out. And bear in mind that this is just going to be on the spring sale. I know that the Big in Japan sale just started. I'm not going to be covering that in this video since the spring sale is literally ending this coming Tuesday. So if you want to pick anything up, now is the time to take advantage of it and make any final purchases. But again, the Big in Japan sale will be staying around until like the beginning of May, so there are going to be a lot of deals available on PSN. Nonetheless, without further ado, let's get right into it, and let's kick things off with Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the Definitive Edition. Whenever I see this on sale for south of $20, I give it a strong recommendation because SOTR is a very good game. I do think it's not as good as Rise of the Tomb Raider. Probably a better game than Tomb Raider 2013, but the real issue with the game come launch was the fact that there was a lot of content in the game that was locked behind DLC, and I remember talking about that a lot heading into the release of the game, and I actually got some flack for it. Nonetheless, I don't want to dig that up. Shadow of the Tomb Raider Definitive Edition includes all of the additional content, so you're getting a very, very packed experience with a lot of content. The gameplay in SOTR is still as good as Rise of the Tomb Raider. It really just falters from a narrative standpoint. However, I think the good definitely outweighs the bad in SOTR, and south of $20, definitely worth a buy. There is a free demo available as well if you would like to check that out. That is also an option. Alright, moving on from that, Monster Hunter World Iceborne Master Edition. Gonna give that a recommendation at $40.19. Obviously, if you're looking to enjoy one single game for the next few months, Monster Hunter World is a great game to get into. Iceborne also includes a sizable amount of additional content. Yes, it's a little bit pricey at $40.19, but then when you get into the game and you realize how replayable it is, how much content it has, you'll quickly understand that $40 is really a drop in the bucket comparatively speaking to how many hours of gameplay that you're gonna get out of this one. Obviously, gameplay is excellent, and Capcom has done a tremendous job in keeping this game updated, keeping it fresh, and always making it worthwhile to come back to. And Iceborne is a legitimate, significant expansion. It's not like a lot of other expansions where it doesn't add a lot of content. Iceborne absolutely adds a lot of content, and it really extends the experience quite a bit, and at $40.19 would give that a strong recommendation. Next up, I did want to give a shout to Metro Exodus, which is 50% off for $20. You'll actually save an additional 5% with PlayStation Plus. I believe that'll take it down to $18. Whatever the case may be, Metro Exodus is a really good game. Obviously, I was a little bit upset about the initial release of this game, and later on because guys on Xbox were just playing this game through Xbox Game Pass, while us on PlayStation, we had to spend a significant amount of money on it. You really can't make that comparison, however, it just is what it is, and Metro Exodus, if you assess it for the game quality itself and the game content, I absolutely think it's worth $20. Now, I've also been vocal about the fact where I think it's the weakest of the three Metro games. However, that doesn't really say much. It's very similar to people saying Batman Arkham Knight is the weakest of the Batman series. What does that really say in the grand scheme of things, considering the first two games were so good? I still think Metro Exodus is a really good game, a very atmospheric first-person shooter. And at south of $20, I do think it's a very good pickup right now. Alright, next up, this isn't actually a part of a sale on the Big in Japan sale. Kingdom Hearts All-in-One package is 70% off for $30. So if you're looking to get into Kingdom Hearts, or you're looking to revisit the franchise and you never played KH3, whatever your scenario is, the all-in-one package is the route to go. This includes 1.5 and 2.5 remix, you get Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue, and you get Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, is Kingdom Hearts an absolutely perfect franchise? No, I'm not gonna go that far, but I think there are a lot of high-key moments that are worthwhile in Kingdom Hearts, and I think there's a lot more good than bad. I wasn't a big fan of KH3. I thought the gameplay was really good. I thought some of the narrative beats were a little bit off, but nonetheless, again, a lot more good than bad. And when you look at the price point, $30 for all three games, that is an exceptional price. Now, it actually doesn't have all of the Kingdom Hearts content. There's actually a DLC, the Remind DLC. I think that's available for like $24 right now. And you know, at some point, Square Enix is going to make the super duper Ultimate Kingdom Hearts collection that includes the Remind DLC as well, because that's what Square Enix does with Kingdom Hearts. But nonetheless, if you've been eyeing KH for a while, all-in-one package for $30 is an excellent buy. Next up, we've got Devil May Cry 5, which is 51% off, down to $19.59. This was legitimately one of my favorite games of 2019. I just thought it was excellent. And if you're a fan of fast-paced action games, Devil May Cry 5 is a must-play. Great music. It's got fluid gameplay in the sense that the frame rate is always on point. And yes, the story is pretty good as well, and you don't have to play the first 4 Devil May Cry games. Look, if you're getting into Devil May Cry, the story is there, and it's actually pretty good. However, The standout of DMC is definitely the gameplay, definitely the high-octane moments, and they do have a lore guide in Devil May Cry 5 as well, where you can look up what happened in the existing games. Nonetheless, even if you don't have any care in the world for the story and you just want to get a game with great action gameplay, DMC is worthwhile playing in that end as well. And for 1959, yes, it's not the longest game in the world, but it's definitely going to offer you a lot of fun. Would definitely give that a recommendation. Next up, we have Ninokuni 2 Revenant Kingdom, which is 60% off for $24. Ninokuni 2 is excellent. Now, I didn't like this game as much as Ninokuni 1, but maybe that was because the novelty of the first game was just a shock factor on top of it being a quality game, of it being so good. I was not expecting Ninokuni 1 to be as good as it is. Ninokuni 2 makes some gameplay alterations that weren't completely up my alley, but nonetheless, another game that has a great art style. Storytelling is pretty moving, and if you want a JRPG to get into for newcomers, I actually think Ninokuni is a pretty good option. It's got a pretty relatable story and an engaging story that is consumable for a Western audience as well, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy it, even if you're not the biggest fan of JRPGs. Yes, for a game that's north of 2 years old, $24 might be a little bit pricey, but I do think it's a game that offers the content that justifies the price point. Next up, here's a very recent release. Want to give a shout to Hunt Showdown, which is down to $28. Now, this is a really good buy for a great multiplayer game. The PS4 version isn't perfect. It doesn't run the best comparatively speaking to the PC version. I don't think a lot of people were expecting that anyway, but this is a great multiplayer game to play with some buddies. Features savage, nightmarish monsters that roam the Louisiana swamps, and you're part of a group of rugged bounty hunters bound to rid the world of their ghastly presence. Now, this is a game that does have some challenge to it. It does have some tactics to it, but that makes the game all the more engaging, and there's this element of risk and reward that you have to gauge that really adds a strategic layer to Hunt Showdown. $28 is a great price for it, but like I said, you're going to get the ideal experience out of this game if you do play with a couple buddies, so try to convince a friend or two to pick it up as well. Jump in together, and I do think you're going to have a really good time with it, and I think it's a pretty good price given the fact that this game came out just a little over a month ago. Next up, one of the most iconic PC RPGs, and many consider it to be the best one, made the transition to PS4. Divinity Original Sin 2 Definitive Edition is down to $30. You'll save an additional 5% if you are a Plus subscriber. That'll take it down to $27. Now, a lot of people consider this to be a god-tier RPG, the greatest RPG of all time. That is not hyperbole. A lot of people really do consider it, and I can understand where they're coming from. I don't think that highly of the game, and in me saying that, I can still concede the fact that this is an incredibly well-made RPG. I just don't think of it as that high, but for $30, you're talking about an RPG with a plethora of content, and another game that if you do play it with a couple of friends, you're gonna have a great time with it. You can go online, 4-player co-op, and it is a lot of fun and a lot of engaging content in here as well that is incredibly replayable. This is another game that if you pick it up, you can be invested into it for a very, very long time, and your money is really gonna go to worth in terms of the longevity and the hours of gameplay that you get. One RPG that might go a little bit under the radar to the PlayStation audience, given that this is a more so a PC-centric RPG. However, it makes a really smooth transition to the DualShock 4 controls, and I think all things considered, it's definitely worth a buy. Next up, we have Assassin's Creed Odyssey Ultimate Edition. It is 75% off for $30. Now, you guys know me with my opinion. I am not as big of a fan of the newer style Assassin's Creed games as I am the older style. However, I still concede the fact that they are very well-made open-world action-adventure titles. It's just I have an affinity towards the older style of AC titles. Nonetheless, AC Odyssey Ultimate Edition for $30 is a pretty ridiculous deal given all the content that you get. Not only do you get AC Odyssey, the base game, you get the Season Pass, so that gives you access to 2 new story arcs with 3 episodes each, and you also receive Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered, and that also includes Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation, which isn't a very good game, but nonetheless, you get that too. And all that content for $30 is pretty ridiculous, given the fact that they're selling AC3 Remastered separately as a $16 game, so essentially you're paying another $14 to get AC Odyssey and the Season Pass. I say that's an absolute home run of a deal, and for $30 would give that a strong recommendation. It's Assassin's Creed. Most of you guys have played Origins at the very least, and if you enjoyed that, Odyssey builds upon its fundamentals. Lastly, I want to give a shout to Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown, which is 66% off for $20.39. This game had the unfortunate fate of being released right around the same time as Resident Evil 2 and Kingdom Hearts 3, so obviously those games were definitely going to take the headlines. However, it seemingly did pretty decent as far as a commercial standpoint goes, and the game quality is excellent. The story isn't anything to write home about. However, if you want that high-octane aerial gameplay, Ace Combat 7's got that in spades, and on top of that, they offer you some great music to round out the experience. For $20.39, I think it's a very good buy. quite a bit of content here as well if you do want to do everything, and I think it's a solid pickup, especially because I think this is a game a lot of you guys did miss out on, given the time frame in which it was released. And that's gonna conclude this video, guys. Again, the spring sale is coming to an end. It'll be concluding it this Tuesday, so you'll want to snag up all the deals that you want at this point. But the Big in Japan sale will be sticking around until the beginning of May, and we'll be covering that more in depth soon. That's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.